Business culture is one of the most heavily discussed and researched topics in the sociology field. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be comparing and contrasting the differences between American and Indian business cultures and why it's important to recognize these differences. Let's do it! We will be observing these differences specifically through examining power distance, nonverbal communication, and differing communication styles amongst these two cultures. My friend Christian and I will be using short clips and picture slides to show you these differences. Gerard Hendrik Hofstede, a world-renowned Dutch social psychologist, defines power distance as such. Power distance is the view that differences in status among community members are natural and desirable. One way that this is displayed in business culture is in the relationship between superior and subordinate, or manager and employee. In Indian culture, there is a greater power distance, and this is shown in the way that Indian subordinates address the superiors primarily as sir, whereas in American business culture, the power distance is much smaller, and it isn't uncommon for a subordinate to call their superior by their first name. Another difference in Indian and American business cultures are their nonverbal communications. Rajesh Kumar and Anand Kumar Sethi, in their article Communicating with Indians, they lay out how to better communicate with those from Indian cultures if you are a manager. And they define nonverbal communication as having four main components to which managers must pay attention, which are distance, touching, eye contact, and body movement. They go on to give an example. They talk about gestures, a form of nonverbal communication, and how Indians often say yes by shaking their heads sideways, a gesture that would signify a no in the Western cultural tradition. Here's an example of how that might be confusing if an American and an Indian were in the same business context. Hey Chris, can you print me a copy of today's agenda? Lastly, we're going to discuss how communication styles differ between American and Indian business culture. In their article, Kumar and Sethi point out how communication styles in India are indirect in nature, that Indians often do not like to say no directly to the other party for fear of offending, and this is especially true in business culture. Here is an example in which I, as an American businessman, am comfortable with saying no to my boss, and Chris, as an Indian businessman, is not. Oh, hello, Mr. Clem.
I need 40,000 of these.
40,000 copies by when?
Today.
Today? Sir, that's impossible. I need 40,000 copies of these by 5 p.m.
Try my best.
These are just a few of the differences between American and Indian business cultures. It's important to recognize these differences so that you can effectively communicate cross-culturally. If I've learned one thing this semester by studying intercultural communications that I see benefiting me in the future when communicating with people from different cultures, it would be how important it is to familiarize yourself with one culture that is different than yours if you plan on being a part of that culture. This, of course, will result in less miscommunication, less culture shock, and ensure a smooth ride.